Our question of the day is true or false? People who do not understand the difference between needs and wants usually struggle with financial problems. And it looks like everyone has answered in the chat so far. And Devon, it looks like you gave us a little bit more context as to why you responded the way that you did. Would you like to unmute and explain?
Yes, I do. Basically, everybody has a want. It's life in general. Like that's what makes us unique. That's what makes us like that's what set us apart from other people. And some people tend to take it an extra mile and they can get greedy and their wants could turn into greed and versus a need. If you have like a hammer, you can't nail anything down without the nails. The nails is being the need, the hammer is the want. You know what I mean? So that's carpentry 101.
Thank you for sharing that. So your answer is it's true that
Yes.
people who struggle usually between needs and wants, or aren't able to differentiate needs or wants, usually struggle financially. Thank you, Devon, for that answer. Anybody else would like to comment on that?
When you don't really know the difference, you'll be trying to get things and do things that you think you need. And sometimes it's not till you're in a situation that you don't have it and you're doing okay. And then you realize, well, I didn't need that. That's extra. So really drawing the line between needs and wants is very clear because a lot of things that we think we need, we can do without them.
Great point. Being able to identify exactly what your needs are is important. And actually knowing what you need as opposed to just thinking everything is a need. Great. Okay. We can take one more person. Go ahead, Luxia. Welcome again.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. So I think it's just important to know what's priority, and if you don't know what priority is in life, you're going to buy everything, you're going to purchase everything, and you're just going to waste your money. Yeah.
Great point. Not being wasteful with the resources that we were given. And we've learned here in Vision Builders that money is a resource, right? It's a tool that we can use. And knowing your needs and wants very clearly is important. Anyone else want to answer before we continue? Everyone put true. Okay, go ahead, Ruth.
Yeah, I say that it's true because a lot of times people will say, I need this, I need this, I need this," because maybe it's something that is maybe trending, or somebody showed something and they feel like, oh, now that I need this because it can make this easier for me, when that could actually just be very impulsive and you're not thinking about it. You're just seeing something that looks shiny and now you just want it, but now you're saying to yourself, not want it, I need it. So yeah, if you don't have a balance between knowing what your needs and wants are, piggyback off what mostly everybody said, it could, it could get crazy.
And you make a good point, Ruth. I think when we're on social media, particularly Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, who has their own shop, you have easy access to purchasing things, right? And marketing is so much so that you think you need something. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I need that. To
TikTok
your
is the home
point,
shopping network now.
right?
TikTok is the home shopping network.
So we may
That's
think we need, but
that's
is it really?
QVC. That's QVC right there. I go to TikTok now. I'm trying to watch videos so I can laugh, and I'm like, wait, everything is selling something. Where's the videos? Man, it's changed a lot.
Yeah. Well, social media is definitely one of the greater marketing machines there is. Ads everywhere. Um, I know me, this happens often. I'm sure everybody. Um, when you're talking about something, somehow you now see it come up in your ads. I know that's done by design, but you might have thought you wanted something and now you see it. I need that.
No, it's spooky. I I was talking about uh like the leather couch where it starts to wear and the color the color thing I want to get for it. And then every time I turn around, the commercial was coming. Like I'm like, that is really freaking me out. I bought it, by the way.
You
But it's
needed it.
I went and purchased it, but it's like, wow, it's like every time I turn around, they're showing actually the commercial, which I've never seen that. I like crazy. Like I was watching a movie on the TV that was on and the commercial kept coming up on the on the on Fire Stick as well. And I'm like, okay, that's because that's Amazon, right? It's like, so no, it's a little freaky, but it is what
Right.
it is.
Okay. Mr. Brown, I know we discussed this question at length, but what do you think about what was said so far about people's perception of needs and wants?
I think everybody was spot on. My take on it is the similar, but coming from a different direction, and that is this: like, um, somebody told me when I was trying to lose weight to know the difference between cravings and hunger, which is the same thing. Is this conversation just come from a different thing? A lot of times we eat because we're just having cravings for food, and if I sometimes have to stop and say to myself, okay, are you really hungry or are you just having cravings right now? And sometimes I say, it's cravings and I don't care. I'm just going to go get something. But knowing the difference, both sides, right? It makes you aware of what you're doing and it helps you. So if you can stop and acknowledge, I don't need this. Well, sometimes saying I don't need this, but I do want it is fair. If it becomes a habit, like eating fast food sometime, it's not a problem. But if that becomes your lifestyle, that's a problem. So I don't suggest that people say, well, I only buy what I need and I never buy what I want. That's not going to work either. So the balance is knowing what they are and being able to say to yourself, I'm doing this, but I'm aware that it's not a need. It's a want. I'm aware that this is not hunger. It's craving. But I still want to eat this ice cream, right? I know it. And that balance helps you kind of walk through the finances and all of that. So there's times I will buy stuff that I know I don't need it, but I want it. But it should not be a lifestyle of buying everything impulsively or just because you want it and don't need it. And I think for me, that's the balance of life. With that said, work, success, all the things that we study and we work on here have the same kind of weight. People have said to you, me, and all of us that, and I've beat myself up for not being disciplined enough about business or what I'm doing, not being focused enough, wasting time watching Netflix. I should be doing this, right? Now, I need you to understand this. Even in business, you have to allow yourself that time to play, that time to goof off, slack off sometime. You can't put yourself in a situation where all you're doing is beating yourself up whenever you don't feel you're being productive. Sometimes you need that non-productive time. You with me? Anybody want to jump in before I play the presentation? It's a short presentation. We'll walk through it and then we'll have a conversation. Go ahead, Devon. Absolutely.
Basically, what to piggyback off of what you're saying is, you're absolutely right. You need that leeway. You need some time, not to make it a habit. Basically, is what you're saying, right? like just to slack off a little bit, give yourself some breathing room. It's okay to be a little lazy, but don't get comfortable with it. Like,
show yourself some mercy. You can't regiment yourself so strong that you now shame yourself every time you miss the mark or you don't come in as strong as you could.
right. Oh,
Anybody
should I
else?
keep going? Oh, sorry.
Good. Were you done? I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Thank you for your comment, Edward.
I needed to hear that. Um, because sometimes I don't always give myself a break or time. And sometimes I'm thinking if I'm doing nothing, I'm not being productive. And that was something I needed to hear. Like you have to have balance. Um, I believe I'm doing better with that, but I could do much better. Um, so thank you for sharing that. That was spot on for me.
Yeah, that's one of the main things I had to tell Nellie. Nellie used to work like all day from the first thing in the morning to past midnight, 12-hour, 14-hour days. And, she said, I just feel like I'm not being productive. And I'm like, well, we're having conversations about the future and what we want to do, and we're planning. And that's productive. That's not non-productive. Sometimes you have to put the sword and the shield down. Imagine a warrior who had to stay on the field and fight all day, every day. He wouldn't be a very good warrior after a while. You have to go home and you got to recuperate. So no, go home, take it easy, sit down, goof off. It's all part of the growth process. And because I'm older, I'm aware that even if I want to keep going, my body says, you on your own, because I'm not with you. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to lay down. I'll sit down on the couch. I'm just going to take a rest. And now 2 hours later, hour and a half later, I wake up. And it is what it is. And I've learned not to beat myself up about that. Like I needed to pull away from it. And sometimes I come back fresher when I pull away from circumstance or situation. So allow yourself the grace and the time to take time off. Allow yourself to make a mistake. Allow yourself, again, don't make a habit of it, to miss the mark sometime and not finish as strong as you thought you should. You just keep coming back. The key to winning is keep coming back. You're all familiar with Sha'Carri Richardson, I'm sure, right? She came out like a beast. And then she went through a moment there where she looked like she just was messing up. Like she just couldn't seem to cut it. And everybody started smirking and, frowning their face and making bad comments about it and all of that. But she kept saying, I'll be back. I'll be back. She came back. And I think adversity is a good part of growth. Confrontation is a good part of growth. Messing up and not getting it right is a good part of growth. Every phase of successful people is these sad or these down stories where it didn't work, or nobody believed, or nobody got my back, or the people I love the most turned against me. Whatever these stories are, these people always seem to have these horror stories, and when I say horror stories, not necessarily horror stories, but these stories of setbacks and times of the best opportunities, I didn't take them. I have a presentation, but you know me now. I just talk. I was talking to a financial advisor, and I said to him, listen, I came into a little chunk of cash, and I want to not leave all this money in a brokerage account. I want to invest. I want to invest, and I want to put in something. He said, well, how much you want to invest? And I said, well, I'm thinking about 50K. And he said, but this is for your retirement. Now, think about this. He's thinking that all of this is this money I got, I'm supposed to be saving this money for retirement. I said to him, who told you that I want to retire? Who told you that that's my goal? I said, I will retire when I'm dead. That's when I'm retired, when I'm dead. This money is supposed to get pregnant and make me money. And you know, taking 50,000 out of that isn't gonna really affect it at all. It's not that, it's only like 10%. But my point is the risk and the being willing to take a loss if that's what it takes to win, to make to take that venture, to gain ground by taking ground that you would normally not take. Okay? I'm going to play the video, show the presentation, and we're going to talk a little bit. Stay with me. We're going to talk about financial and what they call financial intelligence, and what it actually is from from this gentleman's perspective. Freedom, hardship to finding success. I want to talk about this a little bit today from a perspective of somebody in the video right here. Let's take a listen.
Have you ever been broke before?
As a joke. Broke? Are you kidding me? This guy right here, I slept in my car at one point in my life. Didn't have money at all. I mean, literally, it was just that nasty. I came from a very humble beginning as a kid growing up in Africa. Dad passed away when I was 7 years old. 3 meals a day was a struggle. Holes in my shoes as a kid, I remember like yesterday. Broke as hell. But what I want to tell you is this. Being broke is a temporary condition. It really is.
What has been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
Lord have mercy. Close to 2 mil.
$2 million?
Yes.
Are you a buyer or a seller?
Oh, that's a good one. I sell all day. So, okay, watch this. Are you ready? There are two types of people against society: consumers and what? Producers. Consumer consume, producers produce. Who makes the most money?
The producers.
The producers. You follow me so far on this? Yeah. 3 things. My mentor tells me this, and it stays. Number 1, fall in love with people. Number 2, fall in love with sales. Number 3, fall in love with numbers. You do those 3 things, nobody's going to recognize. You're going to go back and watch this tape a few years from now like, damn.
What's the best advice that you would tell the younger generation today?
Make speed work to your favor, because you're young, but you're not forever young. You don't procrastinate anymore, because procrastination is the assassination of all destination. You do not procrastinate. And we're just talking about how there are 2 types of people, right? Givers and takers, right? And I say, listen, life take from takers and give to givers, and keep very accurate accounting. You can't cheat it.
Wow. Any comments before I get going? There's some good points there. Devon is ready to go. Come on, brother, talk to me.
Yeah, there was some valid points. I mean, I understand the producer aspect of it, producers and consumers and whatnot. Like I when he mentioned producing, I immediately went to like film, went to the entertainment industry that I work, because they produce a mass amount of money to set up shop for these productions that I work. And they do that through via galas and other features of donations and donators to have these off-Broadway and Broadway productions. So whatever is given from the patrons, like marketing, from ticket sales, etc., that's going back into the pockets of the producers. So that's pretty interesting, in regards of being a producer and whatnot.
I like that. Somebody else want to jump in on that? Or on any part of that spoke to them? Nelly, I see you shaking your head. Go ahead, talk.
Well, the part where he said that life, it takes from takers and it gives to givers. And I thought that was really powerful. And then also when he said that not having money and stuff like that, it's temporary. It's just really powerful how basically things can turn around rather quickly. Yeah, that's all I was thinking. There was a lot of things going through my mind, but I don't think I really can verbalize it just yet. But just that statement about how it's gonna work in your favor, like, so keep doing the giving and doing what you're doing.
Anybody else have a comment? Come on, bring it, Lux. I'm ready for you.
I don't know how to unmute and mute. All right. So I think one of the comments that he was saying, fall in love with people. I think that is very important because you can build if you can build good relationships, get to know people, get to know what people like, and I think that can make your business very productive. I think sometimes people can be very antisocial or they don't know how to communicate, and that can hurt you in a way. So I think just knowing how to build relationships with people, how to speak to people, and just like people overall, because that's a very important part of business, I think. Yeah.
I like the points that you guys are pulling. Anyone else? Thanks, Lux. That was great. So let me just take it down the list that I made from the comments. The first one he said was broke is a temporary condition. So I want to make sure we get these points, right? Broke is a temporary condition. That statement in itself, going with the rest of what he says, is how to make broke from his perspective a temporary condition, right? So all the things he talked about, from falling in love with people and being a consumer producer versus a consumer, all of these things come down to this. Broke's a temporary condition if you decide to change the flow in which you're in. So broke, you can say it if you want, broke is a temporary condition. You don't have to stay in that place, but there are things that are required of you to come out of that place. So first thing he says, broke is a temporary condition. And then he went into, are you a seller, or are you a consumer, right? Or are you a producer? Meaning, are you a buyer or are you a seller? Now, people, especially people, you know what I mean, right? That are slaves to the names. I heard somebody say this in a social media, one of the clips, TikTok, whatever, and I thought it was so powerful. I think it was Umar. He said, we lived our whole lives with our ancestors lived with being branded as slaves with somebody's name on them, branded into their skin. You understand? And now we've been set free just to go around and wear somebody's brand again, right? And this time willingly. The name of brands. I'm not into the brands like that, and I do have shirts that say Calvin Klein stuff. I got them from, I get it from one of the wholesale outlets or something. I'm not paying top price for anything. I'm not doing that. This came from Target, right? What I do, most of my outfit is from there. Unless I buy a suit or something, I'll get a quality suit, but I'm still not going to buy. I'm not going to spend, $2,000. That's just not that kind of person. What if we agree that producers are more successful than consumers? Then my question to you is going to be, what are you producing? Individually, what are you producing? I know you're consuming because you consume to live, but what are you producing? And when I say are you producing, meaning even if you invested in something that is production, that is making something, what are you producing? And I find that people want to be successful, but their mind is not heavily consumed on producing, but very taken by consumption. So I need us to take that in as a point. If you want to go from getting by or being poor to being successful, the mindset in you has to change to the mindset of a producer. What are you selling? What are you creating? What are you the part of a sale of? So, like, I give you an example. A few of you here are part of the Vision Builders team. And I remember saying to you guys, I'm the product. We're making these videos. we're pushing this out so that we can get people that consume us, thereby bringing us in. Now, I was speaking to Corey the other night, and he said, why don't you have you need to trademark that, are you ready? You ready? Let's grow. You don't need to put that on t-shirts and stuff. And I said, dude, I was just sitting here thinking, I saw this woman on Shark Tank who was making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing a shirt, a t-shirt and sweats a month, the ones a month, like she have their sellouts. And I said, and I was saying, I need VB wear. I need the Vision Builder logo, and then all these sayings I have that's on the site, that's up there. I was looking at one of my quotes, it's one of my favorite too, where I said, be careful when you build in walls to keep people out, because you inadvertently create the prison that keeps you in. And that has so many lights. And I was like, these sayings I have, they just come off of me and I don't think much of them. But throw those on a t-shirt or sweat or hoodie or pair of pants once a month and put those suckers out, and that's a product. So I'm saying, you're listening to me? If you want to break into the realm of the successful, what are you producing? If you want to comment, I'll let you, but I'm going to keep moving because that's the key. Now, Lexi, I know somebody's talking to you, but listen to me close. Falling in love with people, right? This is important. I see your hand, Lindsay. Falling in love with people, he's talking about then in the same process, creating something that you have to be selling to those people or producing something. Even if it's not selling, there needs to be a product or something that you're getting to the people. And that's what he meant. You fall in love with them, but then he said to fall in love with sales. So he said, fall in love with people, fall in love with sales, fall in love with numbers. This is how he said, broke is a temporary condition. You get from broke to successful by becoming a producer of something. So my question is going to be, and Lindsay, you had your hand up, I'm going to grab you. What's your product? I want you to stop and take a moment and think about that. I want to stand here and just preach at you. I want to get you involved in this conversation. What is your product? Lindsay, go ahead.
No pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna say that, and I'm sorry, I'm not on camera. I'm just getting in from my first paid public speaking gig workshop.
That's production.
It's everything you were saying. You got to fall in love with people, been in love with people, falling in love with sales. What the heck does that mean? And I've been having to learn, right? Through, Mr. B, through necessity. And so one of the things that became very clear to me this year is we are more than just one revenue stream. But in order to see that happen, you got to get to work. You got to figure out who you are, what your product is, and so it has been a journey I'm just now starting to see manifestations, and it's great because it's different ways to bring money into the pot, right? And different pots, and the teams get to benefit and people get more opportunities. And, it's like a ripple effect that work of having to unlearn procrastination, find out why I was procrastinating and attack it, not just address it, but attack it, and then find systems that could work for my brain to be consistent with the process of sales and cultivating relationships has been the challenge. So the product right now I feel like it's me, because I'm learning what I'm supposed to be doing and then really working on communicating those services, what we're saying we offer. But I don't know if that's right or not. All I know is that this stuff didn't exist before because I wasn't doing nothing outside of just staffing and recruiting. You know what I mean? And the product maybe shouldn't be me. I'm not sure with that question.
Wait. Okay.
I'm done.
You're on a good track.
Thank you.
We are the product, kind of. But actually, we're the salesperson of the product. And if the product happens to be you, then you still are being the salesperson of the product. So when you say the product is me, well, the product is you speaking, the product is you follow saying, when it comes to staffing, the product is the staffing, it's the employment services. But when it comes to speaking engagements, then yes, the product is you. You're producing yourself. So now you become the product, right? So you're not wrong, but just make that a general statement. You may have more than one product. So I throw the question back out on the floor. What is your product? And if you don't know, say I don't know, but this is giving me something to think about. But be engaged in that sense. What is your product? Yes, Edwidge, come on.
I'm gonna slightly piggyback on Lindsay. As you were talking, and I remember so many things you taught us. I can confidently say I'm the product. What I do is I create safe spaces for people to share, their stories and for them to be free. Free to express themselves, free to share, free to, relieve themselves of whatever it is that they feel is holding them back. And I was able to do that and find that space here. I realized I love to create. I love to create. I didn't know that. So
Let me
when
ask
I
you a
started,
question.
Mhm.
So are you the product or are you the presenter of the product? Because you're saying you're the product. People not buying you unless you're a prostitute. So are you the product or are you the presenter of the product? Because you said creating a safe space for people and giving people a place with it, then that's the product. You giving them that safe place and that counseling, that's the product. You're the presenter of the product. You follow what I'm saying? That's like Elon Musk saying, oh, I'm the product. No, the Tesla is the product. You make it. Nobody wants to buy you. They want to buy your product. So that's why I said that sounds cute, but it needs to be more refined. But it's good we're having this conversation. So the product, yeah, you're the presenter of the product, and you may be the product. In your case, if you're not public speaking, you are a product, but the product is what you're presenting that the people get to leave with.
No, that's good. That's really great, actually.
Yeah, I want
Thank you for
us
that
to walk
perspective.
through this. I want us to really get this because this is important for the next phase of us.
Definitely. Yeah, creating and then presenting. Yes, that's exactly what I do. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. I didn't think about that.
Somebody else jump in here, and like I said, if it's just making you think, then tell me what is making you think. What's your product? What do you
Well,
use?
I guess there's two things that I enjoy doing. So one of them is making music, and the other one is teaching people CPR. So those are two things.
That's right, you sing. So your product would definitely be your music. If you put your productions together, you put your music together, then loving the people and getting that product to the people.
Yeah.
So then, in coming from the music industry, I know how the music industry is. The question is how you package that product to make it unique to your people. The old music business is dead. We understand that. Social media is not about how good the music is and how many people get to it. Social media is how you seduce the algorithm to put you in front of as many people as it is willing to put you in front of. And that comes from creating a product and putting it out. When I started doing Vision Builders, and Nelly and I have Live Unique, and somebody said, well, you got cooking videos, you got health, workout videos, you got hair videos, you got what the heck are you doing? You're confusing the algorithm. The algorithm, you think that that's good, but it's not. You're all over the place because you think it's eyes coming to it. Eyes are not coming to it. The algorithm is coming to it. My videos are kind of in the same kind of place. And I was going to start doing comedy videos and all that. And then after listening to them, I was like, Yeah, I need to keep doing what I'm doing because that's what's growing. So it's about, yes, you're absolutely right. It's about finding your niche and then finding the audience or the algorithm pushing you to the audience that likes your niche. Don't you realize that you see a bunch of videos that are like the videos you already liked, that they keep pushing them to you? People you never saw before and never heard of before. Why? Because they're consistent. They keep putting stuff out. The algorithm hears and sees in their things and their hashtags that they're doing the same thing, and that algorithm starts pushing those videos to you. So when people are reaching out to me now, here's what I'm finding, right? Asking friends and family to like your videos, waste of time. Those are not the people. The people are the ones that are liking your kind of videos that the algorithm push you to. I know I'm having a whole social media conversation, but I was talking about that with somebody else, and I was explaining to them. I said, Kevin Samuels had a Red Bull sponsorship that he never had. He never had a sponsorship with Red Bull, but he had a can of Red Bull in his hand every time he was on the air. And the algorithm picked that up. And anytime anybody goes in and types Red Bull or anything like that, close to that, the algorithm is going to push him to them because he's always having that can in his hand. These are the kind of things that when you're finding your market, you have to dig down deep. Once you get deep enough, then you can come up and you can make whatever kind of videos you want. But once you getting into your marketplace and finding your people, that's how you're finding them. You're finding them by, and I'm just talking directly to you, Lexi, but this goes to everybody. You find your niche. What's your sound? My music is for everybody. No, stop. You ain't gonna ever get anywhere. You're gonna have to find out who and what your niche is, and then you're gonna have to dig deep straight for that niche. That's it. And then let it expand into other areas. If you do that, you're going to get a lot further than saying my music is for everybody from 8 to 80. No, it's not. We went and looked at the algorithm for Vision Builders, and what we discovered was most of my audience was male, like close to 90% of the audience was male, and the stuff that they were drawn to was when I talked about financial stuff. Money, wealth, success, those videos. The encouragement videos, I saw they liked those words of wisdom, but not as much as the success ones. So I went on a little rant there, but that's the key. You got to pin down your niche. And then you found your product. I'll open the floor back up. What are you producing?
I thought doing here was the product, but I understand that in this case, I'm the product because people come not really because I do it here, but they want to talk to me, or they want me to like encourage them, or I encourage them, or we have great conversations and things like that, or they want to hear what I have to say about things. I didn't realize that before.
What is your product?
I thought it was me, or is it my conversation, my personality, what I bring?
Yes, you have a personality. People do love you, blah, 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 fall in love with people. People love you. But what's your product?
I was thinking the personality part of it.
It's not a product. That's the deliverer of the product. You delivering the product, right, unless you're selling yourself. You're not the product. You're delivering the product. You're the vehicle in which the product is delivered. But this is good. Go ahead, Edwidge. And then Ron, then we're going to swing back to you. Go ahead, Edwidge.
I was going to say, Nelly, being a client of yours or former client of yours, I miss you. I would say that your service, like your the way that you care for us, the way that you care for our hair, the way that you advise us on what to do, like it's not that I'm just coming to get my hair done. Like I know I'm going to get, yes, the conversation all the things, but I know I'm going to walk out feeling like my hair was cared for. And that, for me, that service, you can't find everywhere.
So the product is her counsel. It's taking care of your hair, but it's the counsel. Correct?
Yes.
And if so, that's the part of love, fall in love with people. She has that. But then she delivers a product, which is hair care with counsel. You're not just sitting in the chair. I'm doing your hair, get out the chair, give me my money. But I'm investing in you and in your well-being. It's your fellowship, it's your counsel. It's the thing that makes people want to be more around you. That's why I put the ring on it. But that's a different subject. Devon, talk to me, sir.
Well, basically, what I was just about to say is I could say I could sell myself and sell my product, i.e., I work in the entertainment industry. So one of the things that I took up was script writing. I can definitely sell a script.
I just want to say pause, because you said I could sell myself. I want to say pause, no Diddy. But what you mean? But yeah, we're gonna rephrase that a little bit.
I market myself better. There we go. Better?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know how to market myself in a way that I do it through my script writings. One of the things Ruth doesn't know is that I generated a pilot, and I'm actually having the production company look at it for production. That's one way. That's one dynamic way. Another way, another way is if like I could attach myself to that project, what, as an actor, a main actor, or whatever the case may be, or if I just wanted to become a stagehand all over again, I could market myself with that because I know exactly what a film needs in regards of the BTS stuff, cameras, lights, sounds, audio, venues, you name it.
What's this? Good stuff. Producers, listen to what you guys are saying. And I mean, I want to move on, but this point we got to bring this home. You guys are really having trouble identifying your product. And that's something you guys are going to preferably work on. You're talking about yourself and you're talking about the things you can do, but you're not telling me what your product is, right? You're having trouble breaking down what your product is. This is what I sell and give to people and they walk away with, and then they come back. If you sell ham sandwiches, then you sell ham sandwiches. You know, I make the best ham sandwich there is, blah, blah, blah. It's a product. So saying I'm the product and I sell myself, that's general, and it has a truth to it, but it's not accurate. All right? You're not prostitutes. You don't sell yourself. You're selling something, and you have to identify what that thing is you sell. Why am I pushing this? Because you have to then be able to package it. You have to be able to package that's just what it is. For me, words of wisdom and words of counsel, that's what I sell. I can stand on stage for 2 hours like Tony Robbins or anybody, and I can give you a presentation that you walk away with. That's why you'll come here and go, wow, I learned something from him. So what am I selling? I'm selling education. I'm not selling myself. I'm selling education. I am the package that it comes through, but what I'm selling you is education. So now, how do I turn that into a production? Well, it needs to be books. It needs to be t-shirts. It needs to be something that I can now give you that's tangible. That's a producer. So you know what your talents are. You're describing your talents. Now, how do we make that a product? So now you just said, I just did a movie script. Well, if that becomes your strength and you start distributing those, people keep coming back to you for more and more and more, then that's your product, your creativity. You create it, you packaged it, you sold it, somebody took it and walk away with it, and they come back to you again to re-up on that package. So Kwame just came in. Kwame is a personal trainer. That's what he does. He don't sell himself, he sells his skill set. He gets in it. He's the deliverer. He's the vehicle in which it comes from. but his product is personal training. Very similar to Nelly. People love to work out with Kwame because they love the fellowship, the words of insight, the words of encouragement, the things, just the mellow way he, treats people and the kind way he treats people. They just want to hang out and talk, and I watch how they flock to him like that. But he's not the product. He is the conveyor of the product. So if you say, well, what do you sell? He'll say Q Quality Fitness. That's what I sell. And this is the way I train that's different from everybody else. That's his product. Billy Blanks is not the product. Tybo was the product. Billy Blanks was the conveyor of Tybo. And I'm pushing this because I want you to start to think about yourselves from the perspective of, I know what my gifts are. And I'm going to wrap it up with this because we're coming out of time, but listen close. I say this all the time. The problem with a lot of times us being successful is because we do things so easily or come to us so naturally, we don't put value to it. We don't think it's worth money because it's easy for us. But there's 50 million people that is not easy to, and only you can present what you present the way you present it. So there's 1,000,001 singers out there. So then what makes her different? Her presentation. Then where's her audience? Well, that's the next thing. If you're a producer, then you have to find your audience. You have to find your market. And then you have to find a way to get your stuff to your market. Well, I watched Kwame go through it. Nelly tried it. Well, we're going to get other people in here. We're going to train them how to do what we do. No, because they can't do it like you, number one. Two, if the person wants to be with you, they don't want to be with your protege. Three, you're training people to take your job and you're training people to compete with you. So then what he have to do? Well, he got to make workout videos then. He's got to have to, you know what I'm saying? He's going to have to create a product that's him. And that's why people say the product is me. Yep, no, the product is the tape you created or the video you created that person can say, it's mine. I purchased that. It's mine. This is my Q Quality. This is my Live Unique, how to, whatever. This is the way you create your brand. Your brand has to be centralized around something. Now you are a producer instead of just a consumer. And that's where the success is going to come from. That's how the success comes. Questions, comments before we wrap up?
Yes.
Go.
So good. This is why we all need coaches. I just came from training people so confidently for them, but then got up in here and was like, I don't know, for myself. We're not supposed to be doing this by ourselves. Thank you, sir. I got a chance to talk about you in a really special way because I was doing a workshop and there was an older person who was a little resistant to the fact that I was present and sharing wisdom. And I got a chance to talk about how different we are, but how much I've been able to learn from you and honor you because of how you honor people in your sphere and how important that is. And it just flowed. It was so natural. It flowed. The people who were there to received it. And I'm like, yes, this is great. But to sit down and really think, like, what the heck did I just offer them? What was it? You know what I'm saying? They asked for a service and it was provided, and then they gave a check, gave the check right there. So thank you for this level up. We all need coaches. We're blessed to have a you in our lives. We definitely need community. We need this. We cannot do it ourselves. And to your point, last thing I'll say, we all have something, a product we're already doing. And I feel like tonight opened our eyes to really be able to look and sit down and decide to acknowledge and accept what we're already giving. So thank you. This was amazing.
You're welcome. What's up, Q?
What I present and give also is the service that I do, but also with my personality also. So same thing with Nelly doing her hair and stuff. Like my son said one time when he had his hair done by her, one of his compliment to her, not just about how good she did the hair, is about, he said he felt that she cared for him. not just for the money that she's gonna get or doing the hair. He felt personalized. She asked about him, how he doing, such and this and that and whatnot. So it's not just there to take people's money and just say, okay, next, go on and whatnot. Each individual is a personality, because what we do, what she do, what I do, there's hundreds and billions of people doing it also. What separate us, where they say they want to come to us and give us their money in order for us to do what other people are doing, you know? And that's the platform that Vision Builders does and whatnot, teaching you who you are and what product and what it is that you're selling and how to give it to them, how to personalize to the person and to the seller and buyer and such like that. Another situation, like I said, where Lindsay mentioned, where she was giving her service to the lady. When I give my service and do, I always let them know, listen, I'm here teaching you. If you knew what you come here to get, you won't be here with me. So you're obviously here to get something from me. So therefore, I'm a teacher. I'm also going to teach and explain to you and give it service to you. If you don't accept or want or be combative with what I'm giving you and stuff, then it's like, okay, you obviously know more than me. Why are you here? You can go elsewhere. So
Let me stop you.
Let
me bring you home. Let me bring you home, because I know it's hard for you to hear. Because you missed part of the presentation. And the key was not just that, but the key was, are you a producer or are you a consumer? So I asked everybody, if you're a producer, what are you producing? So that's what I'm trying to, the point I was bringing home is identifying, if you are a producer, what are you producing? What is your product? The question is, what is your product if you're a producer? So not just your method and how you do it, but identifying that you have a product and what that product is, and then how to mass produce that product to get that product to the people. Because producers, he said, are the ones that have the wealth, and the consumers are the ones who lack it. So now that we've identified who we are and what our product is, now how do we mass produce that product and get that product to the masses, to more people? That's going to be the next step or the next phase of the question. If you're a producer, which you need to be to go from being poor to being wealthy, he said he was broke and then he became a producer. And to be a producer, you have to have a product. So my question was, what is the product? And the final question would be, and you don't have to answer this tonight, I want you to think about it, how do we now mass produce that product? How do we get that product into more hands? That's going to be the next topic that we get on. How do we get that product into more hands? How do we package this? When you go to the store to buy your favorite, whatever it is, brand of food product, milk, cereal, whatever, you know where it is and you know what color it is. And you look for that package and then you go get that package. That's it. And then if you go get the brand X brand, you know, the No Frills brand, you ever been in the store and you see the No Frills cornflakes and the box almost looks identical to cornflakes? And you grab that box and you look at it and you go, nope, that's not the one. So you have a product now. That's why I said you can't say the product is you, because people don't take you home. That's not you. The product is what you create and make available, but you have to now be able to create it and make it available in mass quantity so people can take it. The reason that Nellie or Kwame will not be able to be wealthy doing what they do is because you only can serve a person at a time. You can't scale it. You have to find a way to be able to scale your product. For most people, it's YouTube and stuff like that. And I'm gonna leave this with you to take home with you. I was talking about it today with Nellie. How many are familiar with Anatoly? You don't know who Anatoly is? You've probably seen his videos, just don't know his name. He's a little skinny guy who walks in the gym, and these guys, these big muscular guys are struggling with the weight, and he walks over and he just says, "Oh, let me try." And he's dressed up like this nerd, and then he just picks it up with ease and picks it up with one hand, or he comes in as the janitor, and these guys have these weights, like these giant weights. He's a power lifter, but he's a small dude, and in his clothes, he looks skinny. And he'll walk up with the mop like he's mopping the floor, and then he'll just bend down and pick up their weight and walk it across the room and drop it on the floor and mop the floor, and then pick it up and come in. And they're standing there looking at him like tons of money he's making off of videos. If you look up Anatoly, if you don't know who he is, I can sit there and watch his same maybe 20 videos over and over again, because he just chops them up and puts them in different order in different places. I think he has maybe about 50 videos that he just puts over and over and over in different reels. And he has like about 5 different accounts. He is cleaning up on YouTube. And I was explaining to her, listen close. If you know anything about bodybuilders or power lifters, they don't make a ton of money until they get picked up. Unless they win a championship and they become a superstar, they're broke. They have to try to find a sponsor, and the sponsor usually won't pay for room and board. They'll just pay for their steroids and their food. It's really a struggling, poor position to be a power lifter or a bodybuilder. They really don't have a ton of money. Most of them working full-time jobs and then in the gym all night. He found a way to become rich with what he did by saying, my product is going to the gym with glasses on in this terrible wig, dressed like a nerd in a janitor's outfit, and out lifting everybody in the gym. And it becomes comic relief to watch him. It's hysterical every time to watch the looks on their face when he walks in and just picks up the weight that they're struggling with and just like moves it across the floor sometimes with one hand. Literally picking up with stuff that the guys are struggling with. They got the belt around their waist and everything. And they was like, no, you need a belt. He said, no, it's fine. It's fine. I think I can. You been to the gym before? No, I just a janitor. I practice with my mom. He said stuff like that. No, I practice with my mom. He took this rubber band and was stretching it, saying to the guy, this is how you do it. And the guy was like, dude, you're wasting my time. Get away from me. I'm working out. And he kept saying, no, this is make you strong. And then the guy said, okay, let me see you lift it. And he lifted up like 5 times and put it down and walked away. And the guy took the band and was going. It's hysterical. But he found a niche. And he's made himself wealthy with a niche. His product is that comedy that he comes in there and makes these gym bros look like total dorks. And he does what he does. Devon said he knows what I'm talking about. But he found his market. He could have been struggling to try to get rich as a power lifter and never made it. Never got rich. It's too many. So he took his thing and he turned it into something. And that something made him very successful. He never has to be in a contest now if he doesn't want to. Why? Why bother? Why bother? Why bother? You find your place. You find your place. You find your product. That's what you produce. So he produces YouTube videos. That's what he does. This is what I'm doing now. You guys, you're on the road to something great. But most people don't ever get where they want to go because they never figure out what their product is. And then they don't figure out how to package it. And they don't figure out how to market it. I'm got to make a bunch of records. Yeah, you can. You can make a bunch of records. I saw a video today. I'm not keep talking. We're supposed to be off. DJ Khaled was like freaking out because he just figured out that there's more money in just recording a video and doing a voiceover than actually trying to record a video. Well, Nelly helped me figure that out a long time ago. Most of my videos, a lot of my videos are just voiceovers because those videos are successful. And remember all these stills we putting up, Nelly? I kept saying, well, shouldn't I be saying the voiceover on top of it instead of just putting the words up there? And you said, no, the people do the flat. Voiceovers get more on prominence is what they said. If I was voicing the words that were on the screen, it would go further than just putting the dry post up there. You live and you learn. But I'm learning my market, I'm learning my people, and I'm learning my product, and I'm promoting my product. No, I am not the product, but I produce the product. I represent the product. So in a way, I am a product, just like the singer is, but what I give you to take home and what I can mass produce is these clips, is these videos, is these recordings, is these scripts that Devon wants to write. This is your key, but you have to find what your product is, and then you have to produce it. You ready? Let's go. Guys, this was great. This was a great meeting. I look forward to our next meeting. I look forward to sharing insights with you guys. And hopefully, you're going to come back and tell me you sat down, you prayed, you sorted out, and you've identified what your product is and how to mass produce it. But you must be producers, and you must produce more than you consume if you want to be successful. It's the same thing with weight. If you eat more than you burn calories, you put on weight. So it's the key. The key is you must produce more than you consume to be successful. That's the key. So why I do 5 different businesses at one time? Because I have to produce. I'm done for the night. Anybody want to say a last minute anything? Let it be brief. Feel free to do so, but don't turn it into a dialogue. Just make your statement and get about. Even if it's just thank you for your time.
There was these videos that I was talking to Ruth about that has voiceovers, and I was like, maybe Mr. Brown could do some dope voiceovers. He got the voice that can attract an audience, like easily identify. And she was like, and Ruth was telling me, babe, we have that already. I was like, oh, that's what's up. So I just like you hit the nail on the hammer, or hammer on the nail with that one. Yeah.
And I love, she said, we have that already. I love that. She's like, this is her product. She knows, like, I'm proud of this. Ruth, you had a last word?
I'm going to be definitely thinking about what my product is. So thank you for that today.
That's a good last word right there.
Yeah, this was really great.
Well, with that, I'm going to say good night and turn it back over to Edward.
Yes, so we're going to invite everybody to come back again next month because we have homework, but it's good homework. And yeah, this was great. This helps us to really take hold of what Vision Builders is about. Coming with something, coming with something, and now going back and working on it and bringing it back. So I'm looking forward to July's meeting as well. This was definitely very inspirational. Good night, everyone. Keep in touch with us.